Hey there researchers, let's have a look at how breeding works in Temtem. Once you got to the second island, breeding has been unlocked. And in order to breed, you need two compatible Temtem to breed with, a male and a female Temtem. But they need to share a type to breed as well. For example, a female Kazuma, which is electric wind, can be paired with a male Nesla, which is actually water and electric. Since both Temtem are of different sexes, and share the electric type, Mimit is the only Temtem able to bypass this though, because he is being able of breeding with any other Temtem. No matter the type, Mimit can only pass on SVs and not ag techniques though, so that's kinda difference. Breeding is done in the breeding center. Yes, talking to the Temtem breeder NPC, two Temtem couples can be deposited at a time for 50 pensions. So long as the player has at least one Temtem in the squad remaining that has not been knocked out, breeding can be cancelled for each deposit pair actually, without losing versatility or items. As long as an egg has not yet been produced, once an egg has been produced for each pair, the egg and parental pair have to be retrieved before another breeding session can be started. Breeding takes around like 5 minutes if both Temtem are from the same evolutionary line, or 10 minutes if they're not. Hatching eggs is the player squads takes between 5 and 45 minutes, depending on the species. On its capture rate actually. The incubator device increased the hatching speed by 100% for the first wild egg in the squad. So what is versatility actually? Versatility determines the number of times a Temtem can breed. The maximum versatility of Tem is 8. That's what like the 7 leaves and the stem. A versatility tree represents the full versatility, each of which can display a brighter or darker shade or cyan representing respectively remaining and missing versatility. The maximum versatility value is 8. After production of an egg, the versatility value of the parents reduces by 1. The offspring will inherit the lowest versatility value among both parents. After production of an egg, untamed Temtem have a versatility value depending on the amount of SVs of 49 or 50. For each of such value, the versatility is reduced by 0.5 rounded up. Since untamed Luma Temtem are generated with at least 3 max SVs, their maximum versatility is 6. Various aspects of the parental Temtem are heritable, some of which depend on the use of items. About the species though, is that the offspring species will be the same as the first form of the evolutionary line of the female parent. Eggs produced by pairing with female Kazuma will hatch into Genki. So it all just depends on the woman actually, so that's just good to know, right? That is good to know. Like the single values, each of the offspring stats have a 40% chance of inheriting the highest SV value between the parents, a 40% chance for the average rounded up, and a 20% chance for the lower SV value. Breeding gear can be used to force certain stats of a parent to be inherited into their offspring. Those breeding gears are like engineered DNA strands, because they will ensure inheritance of a trait. Slot as viewed in the Tempedia. That's pretty good to know though. Now let's talk more about these trait slots, right? Traits are not inherited without the use of a breeding gear. There is a 50% chance for each of both traits of the offspring species can be. However, the engineered DNA strand will ensure inheritance of the trait slot as viewed in the Tempedia. A male Nesla with Hydrotist trait can be paired with a female Kazuma, but it will pass on the trait slot of the bred Genki, which gets a cold natured trait. Except for if you use an engineered DNA strand, that is then. The techniques now. Many species can inherit so-called egg techniques from other species. This is achieved by breeding with parents that have the representative technique active in the 4 techniques that can be used in combat. Other techniques are not inherited and instead are learned by leveling or with the use of training courses. A Lua chance though, by default the chance of hatching a Lua Temtem is the same as encountering one in the wild, namely it's 1 in 10,000. For each Temtem parent, this chance increases times 10, leading the odds of a 1 in 1000 for 1 Luma parent and it is 1 in 100 for 2 Luma parents. So that's definitely a difference. If you use a Luma parent, it has so much more chance to getting a freaking Luma egg that's just mazeballs. So I hope this got you more into the basic stats of the breedings and such. I hope you all enjoyed, mates. Have a great day, researchers.